Hey everyone, this is Coach Allison back with your Defy Aging workout for the upcoming week. All right, so this week we're back to a circuit on the turf and we're going to time some intervals for 40 seconds on and 30 seconds off. So that's pretty straightforward. We have 7 exercises and there's going to be 3 rounds. Again, also pretty straightforward. And then of course the team builder at the end. All right, so let's get to some demonstrations. Station 1 is going to be a mini band vertical extension. So we're going to put the band like this. Okay, so both palms are going to be facing down. You can do an open hand or a fist, whatever just feels more natural to you. And stack the hands one on top of the other. And both arms, I guess I kind of like to do this. I just inadvertently open my hands. Both arms are going to be moving. So you don't hold one arm still and just lift the other one, or hold the top arm still and lower the other one. You want to be lifting the top arm and simultaneously lowering the bottom arm. So you do want both arms kind of moving about 50% with each arm, if that makes sense. Halfway through the time, so at the 20-second mark, we're going to switch arms. You see how I kind of accidentally went kitty corner like that? You might want to do this one in front of a mirror to kind of watch yourself, because we do want to keep those arms stacked and be going straight up and down. So try to avoid that sort of kitty corner kind of movement that we might sort of inadvertently do. Okay. Choose a resistance band that is challenging, that's appropriate for you, and that is station 1. Station 2 is a brace hip thrust. So for this, we want 2 dumbbells, and we're gonna lie back on the floor. So the brace part is we're bracing our upper body. So we're going to do 1 chest press and just hold it up there. So that upper body movement or that upper body position stays stationary. And then we do a standard hip or glute thrust with the lower body. So we're lifting and lowering those hips, but notice how my arms are staying still. So they're staying in that chest press position. Okay, so these arms might kind of want to wobble around a little bit, so do your best to lock them in. A good way to do that is kind of take your shoulder blades and really press your shoulder blades into the floor. And that's going to sort of help to really brace those arms and those weights. When you're done, bring the weights down like this and then plop them down like that. That's just a little shoulder safety for you. So for anyone staying off the floor, it's going to be a little different, but to still get some shoulder and chest activation and still get some posterior glute and hamstring focus, I think the best thing I came up with is a brace sumo squat. So you'll choose a single dumbbell, or you can even use a medicine ball if you would like. It's going to be quite a bit different, but you want your sumo squat stance. And as you go down into your squat, or right before, you're going to push the arms out, squat, up, and back. Out, squat, up, and back. We do want a sumo squat, because that's going to sort of target more of the glutes and hips, just like the hip thrust does. So, but I think that'll be a good alternative, and that is station 2. All right, station 3, we have a half kneel halo. So we're going to have a kettlebell for this in a half kneel position. Want to flip the kettlebell bottoms up. And then we do a halo. Okay, so the halo is going around the head like this. And we're going to switch direction with each rep. We want to keep the kettlebell, the point of this is keep the kettlebell low and tight. So we keep it low and then tight into the body. What I mean by that is we're trying to avoid it being high over the head and way far out. So I'm keeping it as low as I can, like this. So my arms are kind of gracing my head here. Might kind of mess up your hair a little bit. And then I'm also keeping it tight in, so I'm not letting it come way out here. Since we're switching directions of the kettlebell with each rep, so that takes care of the getting each direction within the shoulder. Switch your leg position with each new round. That way we don't have to worry about, it's really cumbersome to bring the kettlebell down, switch your legs, then start it again within the actual set. You lose about 5 or 10 seconds, and we don't want to do that. So I know we only have 3 rounds, so you'll end up having 2 rounds with 1 leg position one round with the other, but it doesn't really matter. That's okay because the leg position is not a main focus of this exercise. Anyone staying off the floor, do a staggered stance instead. So kind of put one leg back, just have a slightly staggered stance, and that's going to also work that or challenge that stability. If that is a little too unstable for you, however, because it can kind of make you feel really wobbly, feel free to stand with your feet normal, parallel to one another, and that's another option as well. Next, we have a band squat row. Okay, so we're going to take care of some leg work and some back work together. So we have our band anchored to something in front of us, about chest height, okay? And we want a little tension on the band to start. So think of this as two separate movements, squat first, then the row. Make sure you're not thinking of them as one movement put together, because if you try to do the squat at the same time as the row, you're probably going to tip backwards. Okay, so arms are straight all the way. We do the squat first, come up, then the row. Squat with the arms straight, up, then the row. So what I mean by not doing them both together is that sometimes we kind of tend to do this, and when that happens, we also tend to sort of want to tip backwards, and it can be, first of all, slightly dangerous because we might tip backwards, and it's also kind of a mess. So I can think of them two separate movements, one after the other. When you're doing your squat, make sure we're not bending the elbows at all, starting the row. Keep those arms straight when you squat, up. Remember with the back row, shoulders stay down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, chest out. Want to make sure we're not caving the chest in like this, okay? So that is station, I think we're on station 3, 4. Anyways, that's the next one, squat row. Station 5, I think, is a plank. And I think we've done these so often, we don't need a demonstration of it because your coach is going to do a beautiful demonstration of it as well. But a standard elbow plank, low plank, you can do knees, you can do toes, you can do an incline. Next station, our cardio station, jumping jacks. Also probably don't need a demonstration of this, but since it's quick and easy to jumping jacks or a modification to take out the jump is a full step. But either option that you are doing, make sure we're getting nice full arm swings and a nice full step or jump either way, because we just want to avoid little movements because we want to get as much out of this as we can. So jumping jacks for station 6. Final station, a band step curl. So we'll get some hips and some arms. So I'm going to leave it up to your coach because it might depend on either the coach's preference, but it also might depend on the space you have. So what I mean by that is whether you're going to do like a long stretch of maybe 3 steps and 3 curls, or maybe you'll just do 1 step, 1 curl. So kind of whatever you have space for. But whatever you are doing, match the steps to the curls. So if you do 2 one way, then do 2 curls, 2 steps the other way, 2 curls, or 1 and 1, 3 and 3. Match the steps to the curls. Anyways, but quick reminder for the steps. Keep a little slack on the band, so just make sure it's not loose. You don't have to hold them way up here. Soft bend your knees at all times. So see how when I'm taking my steps, I'm keeping a soft bend in my knees. Okay. When you lock your knees out straight, first of all, it's not good for your knees, but second of all, it makes the balance a lot harder. So this is way more easy for me to want to tip over. So keep that soft bend in the knees, keep the band in the arch of the shoe, or at least in the center of the foot. That locks the band in nice and snug. And you have to really dig your foot into the band. See how I'm stretching the band? My hand is staying in the same place here. What I mean by that is the band, I'm not sliding my foot on the band and therefore pulling it. So now my hand is down here. So you're not sliding your foot along the band. You're stretching it. You're creating more tension. And that's very important because if you do it the wrong way, you take 2 or 3 steps and all you're doing is sliding your foot on the band. First of all, you're not doing the work on your hips, but you're going to run out of space on your band very, very soon. So you need to stretch the band by digging your foot into it, if that made sense. So band step curls for our final station. Team builder for the week is going to be a trainer's choice because I know that our coaches have some really fun ideas for some team builders, stuff I haven't thought of or haven't done. So we're going to have this be a trainer's choice week. Might be the same thing throughout the week, or maybe each Defy session they have something new. I don't know. So yeah, it'll be a trainer's choice. Let's see what your coaches come up with. And that wraps up this week. So I hope everyone enjoys this week's selections of exercises. I hope you enjoy this workout, and see you back next week.